Hi everyone. In this video, I want to give some more details about the activity where we figure out how to use trigonometry for rotations. So for reference, what I have over here on the right is the activity with all the descriptions. In particular, there's this picture here, which might seem a little bit mysterious, but when it's paired with um, this Desmos screen here, we're going to see that it makes a little bit more sense. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to think about taking a point in the plane, say this point right here, xy, and rotating it about the origin. So if I have this point 0, 0, we call this the origin, and I'm going to take this point xy and I want to rotate it around that. And so if I do that, I could get a bunch of other points. And what I want to do is figure out, well, what are the new coordinates? So say if I rotated by, this is 1.3 radians here, where would I be? And is there some equation that describes how I can figure out my x coordinate and how I figure out my y coordinate? Okay. So the first thing that we want to do, the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to take this point xy in the origin and we're going to draw in a triangle. And specifically, we're going to draw in this right triangle right here. And so we can see over here in our picture that we have that same triangle. Okay. Now, as I rotate, what I can do is when I get my new point, so this point, question mark, we want to figure out what are the coordinates of that point. But as I rotate it up, I can also think about rotating this triangle right here. So not only am I rotating this point, but I could rotate this entire triangle up. And so we could go all the way around no matter where we are. But let's put it right here to match up with our picture. Okay, so if I know that this is the point xy, what I'm going to do is try and figure out the coordinates of this point. And the real key here is to draw in this box. Okay, so if you notice, we have these dotted lines right here, and I have some dotted and dashed lines here that match up with them. Okay, so if I look at this point right here, in order to figure out my y coordinate, really what I want is the length of this line segment right here. Okay, so this dotted line segment, which matches up with this dotted line segment over here. If you can figure out the length of this segment, you're going to have the y coordinate of this point. And then over here, if I want the x coordinate of this point, I need to figure out the length of this segment, which is going to be some piece in here. Okay. All right, so the last thing that you need to put all the pieces together is there are two other triangles that are hidden in here that we really want to see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on and we'll see that there are two other triangles in here. Okay, so there's this green triangle down at the bottom, which is going to be key for us. And then there's this blue triangle up here at the top. So if you're watching this video while you have the worksheet in front of you, you may want to go ahead and mark these two triangles. Okay, so this triangle right here is very important, and then this triangle up here is also very important. Okay. So with this said, what you're going to do is you're going to figure out the length of all the line segments. So if you can do that, you should be able to figure out the coordinates of this point right here. Okay. One last hint. In the green triangle, if you're rotating this by an angle theta, then the angle for the green triangle down here is going to be your angle of rotation. So you can call that angle theta, and right here in the triangle, you can call that angle theta. And so that will be, if you are rotating by an angle theta, what are the coordinates that go in here? Right, so what are the equations that define your x coordinate, and what are the equations that define your y coordinate? And as you may have guessed, there are probably some trig functions involved in there. So I hope this helps. I'll see you next time.